The Joy of Creation, one of FNAF's most popular fan games ever. And with it being a part of the Fazbear Fanverse initiative, it has gathered a massive fan base eagerly waiting for the Ignited Collection to come out. But it also is by far one of the games we know the least about. So, in today's video I will be covering what the Ignited Collection has in store for us, as well as looking into the other games. Or to put it in better words, what happened to the Joy of Creation? If you didn't know who made the games, then let me introduce Nixon, the main developer behind the Joy of Creation, and in November of 2015 he'd released his first FNAF fan game demo after a few cancelled ones, named the Joy of Creation Classic, inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's 4 and The Boogeyman. And it sure was a demo, but nothing in comparison to what's to come. But for now, let's look into the actual game. Booting up the game, you're faced with a pretty nice looking title screen. No, not the basic ass font, but our main three animatronics, being Freddy, Bonnie, Chica. Though as soon as you click play, things go from pretty good to god awful. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't really have fun playing this game, because this essentially was just an average basic ass fan game for that time. Now for 2015 standards, I guess it's an average game with some pretty ugly visuals. And playing it now, I don't know what happened, but I know that it didn't only happen to me, because the game crashed every single time I got jump scared. And no, before you ask, I do not have a toaster or a PC. Either way, it starts with an incoming phone call from some guy. All you need to know from that though is that we're not playing as Michael Afton, William Afton, nor the crying child, but Scott Coffin. Why? Find out later on. Going deeper into the visuals, they don't hold up with what the Joy of Creation story mode, for example, looks like, because these visuals, like I said, are pretty ugly. The only thing that separates this game from just any other fan game is that this is made in 3D. Does it make it better? Well, to put it in one word, no. Because it still feels like it was made in Click Team. The main gang looks a bit plain, the jump scares like any former scares, and the room you're in is just boring. But I digress. The gameplay, however, is sure is gameplay. Similar to FNAF 4, you're given a flashlight with an insane battery life, which makes sense because this after all is an endless game. With this flashlight you can look in 4 different parts of the room. The front door, another door to your right, a window behind you, and a closet to your left. Each part of the room has their respective animatronic, being Freddy, Bonnie, Foxy and Chica respectively. However, they do not change their position. Foxy will always creep up from the window, Bonnie will always be at the door, you get the idea. Now, the part that made me dislike the game the most, no, not the visuals, nor the animatronics, but the way you get rid of the animatronics. Because it is just the same way every time. Being you only going in one direction, which is to the right. Which is the only direction you can go in, by the way. And just flashing your flashlight once. So you probably get now why I stopped playing the game after a few tries. It's just the most mind-numbing gameplay loop to ever exist. And you thought Garden of Banban was bad. And I think Oh Yeah puts this in the best words possible.
Once again, miracle this series got so popular with how bad this is.
But like almost every FNAF game, it of course got a sequel. And thank God this next one wasn't nearly as bad as this boring lame game. The Joy of Creation Reborn. This next one is a huge step up in comparison to what we just looked at. And it's also very different to any other FNAF fan game, being a free roam FNAF fan game. So, no more pressing W to look to your right. And say goodbye to cameras because heck, we don't need those. However, what this fan game lacks is, well, FNAF. Every animatronic here can be easily replaced by Slender Man, because this game really feels like Slender the 8 pages. But visually, this is a FNAF security breach compared to a Five Nights at Freddy's 3. The maps you're playing are just the perfect size to run around in without feeling completely lost. And all of the animatronics are finally not plain and boring anymore. Thank God. However, this game still isn't perfect. You wanna know why? Well, I'll give you 5 seconds to find out what could be annoying when playing this game. If you set the timer, you'd be wrong, because the flashlight in this game has to be the worst mechanic in any video game ever. For some weird reason, the character runs like he's f***ing Usain Bolt. You see more in a school fight video than in this game. Heck, this game would have been better without a flashlight entirely. The rapid movement of the flashlight is outright seizure inducing. Anyway, it's gameplay time. Reborn has 4 different levels / challenges that you can spend your time with. one level for Freddy, one for Bonnie, one for Chica, and one for Foxy. Each level has pretty much the same challenge, with the only exception being the animatronic that chases you. So, let's start with Freddy Fazbear. In Freddy's challenge, you are in a house looking to collect 5 objects within a 1-minute time limit. If you collect all of these objects, then you can call yourself King of 5 Nights at Freddy's! Sounds easy? Well, it is and it isn't. Like I said, you have to collect 5 objects within 1 minute. And with unlimited sprint, it sounds easy, right? Well, the game basically wants you to run around like a headless chicken, since there is no stealth in this game whatsoever. Now, the thing is, if you fail to collect all items, then you're not getting jump scared, nor are you kicked out of the game. No, the UI just goes away and you're stuck in this house till Freddy jump scares you. Or you quit the game entirely. It is the same when you win the game too, but all you get is a nice checkmark in the menu. I mean, it is better than the demo we looked at before, but I still don't really like the gameplay loop of this game. It is like this in all 4 levels, and it just feels like you have to be lucky in order to complete the challenges. Speaking of completing the challenge, when you're searching for the objects, they have a set spawn location where they can appear in, but each time you fail, the location of all 5 objects change. So you can forget strategizing for a path and just start praying to good RNG. Or outright pray to Scott Cawthon even. But wait, aren't you praying to yourself then? Since you are playing as Scott Cawthon? Yeah, this game nor the demo from before don't really have an interesting story, if one at all, which changes for when we talk about story mode later on. So sit tight and don't click off this video, cause we got a bit more to talk about still. Freddy in here is a bit straightforward. He just wanders around the house till he spots you, where he then starts chasing you until he kills you. It is more funny than scary, to be completely honest. If he jump scares you though, it's nice to see a way better looking jump scare to what we had before with the iconic TJOC jump scare sound. Now, I won't go in depth with all these next 3 because that is probably killing my retention rate. If you're still watching however, why not type coconut in the comments below to confuse the other viewers? And I will of course heart every comment who types this. So, Ignited Bonnie's level is pretty much the exact same challenge, but a bit more confusing, because the basement feels very much like a maze. However, the thing that makes this level a bit better is how Bonnie's eyes light up the walls if he's near, which can be pretty scary sometimes. Also, funny Bonnie punch jump scare. Remember when I said the animatronics can be replaced by Slenderman? Well, I of course was talking about Chica's level, with an environment that is basically a forest where you have 3 minutes to collect 10 pages. So basically, Chica into 10 pages. Compared to Freddy and Bonnie's location, this one is massive, hence the 5-minute timer. However, Chica is well, essentially a weeping angel, but if you look at her too long, she'll attack you. Don't know what a weeping angel is? Well, to put it simply, she can move if you don't look at her, she can stop when you look at her. Also look at this goofy hopping she does. Then Foxy, everyone's favorite. So, Foxy in here is actually pretty cool. I mean, unlike the other levels, Foxy has some pretty cool mechanics, being if you hear him running towards you, you can stun him by shining your flashlight in his eye. Arr, fucking God! Next up, the last game before we talk about the game everyone's been waiting for. The Joy of Creation Halloween Edition. Released over 6 years ago and a bit better than Reborn. Unlike Reborn however, this is a bit more polished with only 1 challenge this time and a way better flashlight that doesn't make me breakdance on the floor. Also, cameras on your phone? Halloween Edition puts you into Fazbear's Frights with a bit of information from Phone Guy who says that you need to gather things to burn this place down. Looking at the visuals here, it's always nice because this game actually holds up to today's standards pretty well. And for being over 6 years old, I think no one can complain about these visuals. Our funny purple furry pal also looks stunning here, with a bit more fucked up version of FNAF 3 Springtrap. Doing all 4 objectives also feels way more satisfying, with you first acquiring a hammer, then damaging 6 pipes to release gas, and last but not least, lighting up that place. With cutscenes, this game really deserves the popularity it has gotten. Springtrap 2 isn't too unfair, sometimes though he can get a bit annoying, but it's not a big big deal. Remember the phone I talked about before too? Well, it doesn't just work as a flashlight, not just as a phone, but as all of these combined, plus an audio lure to distract Springtrap. So that's pretty cool. However, getting the hammer can be a bit annoying sometimes, since it can spawn at multiple different locations. Now, it wouldn't be all that bad if you didn't need the hammer to progress like throughout the whole game. Other than that, it is definitely a very good game, even though it is a bit short. What is not short, however, is what is next. One of, if not the best Five Nights at Freddy's fan game ever made. All of these games are nothing in comparison to this game. There are office sections of FNAF 6 compared to the simulator sections, the Garden of Banban 2 compared to Garden of Banban 1, the Bendy and the Ink Machine compared to Bendy and the Dark Revival. Okay, you get the idea. The Joy of Creation story mode is not just a masterpiece of a fan game, but one of the scariest FNAF fan games ever made. And you thought Garden of Banban was scary. You'd piss yourself if you even started this game. From gameplay to story to even the visuals, this game is fantastic. But since I don't want this video to go on for half an hour, I'll somewhat quickly will talk about the visuals, and then also somewhat quickly the gameplay of all 5 levels, and then the story mode's story, because yes, we finally have one. So damn, these graphics are not just a step up from Halloween edition, but for the game being almost 6 years old, we rarely see a fan game that looks this fantastic. Story mode obviously has the best graphics and models out of any of the Joy of Creation games. With this game being made in Unreal Engine, it makes the whole game look so nice and high quality. I've never seen a FNAF fan game looking this fantastic. Speaking of fantastic things, we have one of the scariest FNAF jump scares ever made, thanks to Unreal Engine of course. You'll most likely see yourself being very concentrated throughout this game, so that tension being broken is somewhat relieving, but I don't want to know how fast my heart was going sometimes when playing this game. I'll get to that later on though, when I'll talk about the gameplay. But to avoid me rambling on and on about these visuals, let's talk gameplay. So, Memory 1. In it, we play as Nick inside a crib in a dark bedroom, when we get a call from Michael, who gives us a rundown on how to avoid the animatronics. Freddy can be seen outside the window, and to avoid him, you need to hold the curtain closed. You'll know he's gone when you hear a sound cue. Fail to do so, he won't instantly jumpscare you yet, he will teleport behind you and wait there till you look at him, which will result in this. When it comes to Chica, it's pretty straightforward, since she will open the closet door every once in a while, and to avoid her, you need to just turn off your lamp. Then, Bonnie. You'll know when he comes, since you'll hear knocking on the door before he's looking into the room. So what you need to do is just hide. However, if you think it'll be wise to sleep, then well, good luck to you. And last but not least, we have Foxy, who will slowly make his way up your crib. First, you'll hear scratching beneath your crib. Then, you'll see a circle behind your crib, so stay cautious then. Because next up, he is seen right in front of the window, preventing you from closing it. To get rid of him, just go to sleep and wait till he's gone. Now, all of this sounds difficult enough, right? Well, it gets even worse. If you keep your lamp off for too long, you'll slowly lose your sanity, which will result in a stressful situation, since you're here less and less. Also, did I mention that this night is close to 10 minutes long? Good luck to you. Now, Memory 2. In here, we play Scott's wife inside the living room, and this one isn't really easier compared to what you had to endure before. So, be cautious and don't relax for too long, cause the animatronics are still out to get you, though you have something to make it easier. This TV. It will help you see through the eyes of either Freddy or Foxy, who are slowly making their way towards you, from either doors on your left or on your right. If you pause the TV set on one animatronic, it will stop the animatronic from moving, but don't sit on the couch for too long, because as soon as you'll hear growling, you'll need to stand up and stay still. If you know either Foxy or Freddy are close, you'll need to get out of their line of sight by standing behind the door they're coming from. Finally, you have a door where Bonnie comes from. You can look at him through a keyhole while he'll be coming closer and closer to you. If you see his eyes shining through the keyhole, then you'll need to get out of his line of sight. Like Memory 1, Memory 2 is also 10 minutes long and also features visuals that'll make tension build up even more, with a guaranteed heart rate of over 100 beats per minute. So only the hardest of hardcore gamers will complete this memory. Next up, Memory 3. In here, you can for sure relax a bit. At least for me, it was pretty easy. You play as the man, the myth, the legend himself, Scott Coffin. I'd call this a more improved version of the Joy of Creation Classic demo we looked at before. But this time my guy has more monitors than me, with not one, not two, but 3 monitors you can look at. Now, this is what I call peak gaming. Anyway, the test here is pretty simple, as you'll only need to flash Freddy 10 times to clear this level. Foxy will appear randomly in either one of the doors. Don't flash him, however, he doesn't like bright lights. What you'll need to do is find him on either 3 cameras and just look at him till he disappears. Then Bonnie. Bonnie is basically the complete opposite of Foxy, as when you see him in the doorway, you should not under any circumstance look at him through the cameras, as that will result in him breaking the camera for the rest of your playthrough. And last but not least, we have Chica, who slowly comes through the wall. If you see her, all you need to do is search for free cupcakes. If you find all 3, then you successfully got rid of Chica. There are a few spots where the cupcake can appear, so keep an eye out for them. This memory is, like I said before, a literal cakewalk. I didn't have much of a problem going through this memory, since it was pretty much straightforward, and not at all creepy, in comparison to what is next. Memory 4. Yeah, for this you'll need to put on your big boy pants and buckle up your shoes, cause you're gonna need them. In Memory 4 you play as Scott, but this time in the basement. In here you'll need to complete a few puzzles, starting with floor 6, which has you going out of the bathroom, but then going into the bathroom again. Going out of it is pretty easy, but going in it again is, yeah, just watch out for this endo. You don't wanna know what happens when you get too close to it. Floor 5 has you collecting a few items, then burning them while avoiding endos again. And after that, just go to the bathroom. You'll need to do this every time. The bathroom here is your best friend. Floor 4 though is pretty easy, if you know the combination of the gate. Oh, and beware of the endo. Its name is Weeping Angel. Whatever that means, who knows. Another code later you'll find a key which you need to grab, of course. Then go to your trusty old pal, the bathroom. Floor 3 though is nothing. You just need to walk down this hallway. No jump scares. Then floor 2. There are not 1, but 2 Weeping Angels this time, which you need to avoid, of course. All you need to do then is moonwalk while avoiding endos right and left. At the end you'll see a button which you need to press, which will of course spawn another Weeping Angel, but it's easy to avoid him since all you need to do is hug the wall and leave this memory. Finally, Memory 5. The hardest, best and the most confusing one out of all of them. So, bear with me. You have downgraded your screens, as you only have one this time, where you can see either Golden Freddy or Creation. You cannot die to Golden Freddy, but you'll need to flash him with the lever on your right. 13 times to be exact. Creation, however, is a bit of a different story. This pain in the ass animatronic you need to flash 2 to get rid of. By using the lever to your left, you can switch to the attic camera where you can see 2 endos. If one endo is there, you'll need to close the respective door behind you, to of course not getting jump scared by them. However, there's also a third endo, who you'll either hear running from your right or from your left. So be sure to close that door. Like Memory 1 and Memory 2, things get very intense near the end of this memory. As near the end of this memory, you'll begin to see fire spreading everywhere, which will not set your heart rate to 100 beats per minute, but 200 beats per minute. So all you need to know is stay calm, because when you finally beat this memory, you'll know you'll be worth it. But wait, the video doesn't end here. Oh no, I haven't even talked about the elephant in the room, being the Joy of Creation Ignited Collection, which is a part of the Fazbear Fanverse initiative. We know that the Ignited Collection will feature remakes of every game I've talked about today, being the Joy of Creation Classic, the Joy of Creation Reborn, and the Joy of Creation Story Mode. Each game will of course have even better graphics. Also, Classic and Reborn will, thank goodness, have random generated levels which will have a high score, so no more stupid endless levels. But remember what I said at the start of the video. We don't know much about the Joy of Creation Ignited Collection, but why is that? Well, if you didn't know, Nixon also has another game he's working on, being Dark Deception, which in of itself is a massive game. And if you didn't know, Nixon got a 3D artist to make the Ignited character models, but it came out that the person who made them was under the age of 18, and therefore every model was scrapped and a lot of time was wasted. But by now we have this awesome Bonnie renderer Nixon posted a few months back, and holy shit, this is amazing. Anyway, the Ignited Collection will feature ports for basically every console, so don't worry if you don't have a PC. I assume the Ignited Collection story will stay the same as it always was. But sadly, this is all we know by now. However, Mixon mentioned a few months back that he'll be working on Foxy's model next, so it won't hurt checking his Twitter profile from time to time. Also, why not check out my Twitter profile? And did I say that Bonnie will be punching? Well, yes, of course Bonnie will be punching. I know it may not be much we know about the Drive creation, but I hope I still made you appreciate the old work Nixon has done. Oh, and Nixon, if you're watching this, why not comment down below? Because if you do so, I'll buy your U2s. Oh shit, this is expensive. And if you haven't noticed, this was probably one of the longest videos I've ever made. So be sure to like and subscribe to make this worth it. I mean, why not get over 500 likes? No, 1000 likes on this video. I know it's a bit much, but I'm sure we can do it if everyone right now likes. So like, I'm looking at you, Steve. Like this video. Anyway, I still hope that you enjoyed this retrospective style video, even though it was in production for over 2 weeks. Either way, while waiting for the Ignited Collection, why not check out another shorter video of mine right here, and thank you so much for watching.